Square Enix hopes to infuse some new blood into the Final Fantasy series with the latest installment, Type-0. The game started off as Final Fantasy Agito 13 for mobile phones, but as the design evolved, development shifted to the PlayStation Portable. Type-0 marks a drastic shift for the series, eschewing turn-based combat for a more real-time action experience akin to something you'd expect out of the Kingdom Hearts series. The game opens in a school setting that's reminiscent of Final Fantasy VIII, but it's quickly apparent that this is an original setting and a slightly different kind of Final Fantasy. A bloody massacre ensues as an invading force demolishes everything in its path, but a group of students from Class 0 rise up to the challenge to help stave off the attack. From there it appears the entire world will be caught up in a war, and it's up to you to fight for the freedom of the nation. There are still a few loose ties to the Fabula Nova Crystallis mythos, but for the most part, it seems to be a self-contained story. Type-0 doesn't quite follow the typical Final Fantasy structure. The school grounds serve as the primary hub environment where you can conduct your basic affairs, but the real action takes place beyond the walls. You'll receive various missions over the course of the game which require you to set out into the world and fight as a team to accomplish your objectives. The missions can take place in open fields or in the dense corridors of a town, but they're fairly linear in nature. Your performance on these missions will be ranked at the end of the mission based on several factors. You can take up to 12 members into any mission, but only 3 are active at any time. You have direct control over a single character, but you can switch between active party members with the press of a button. If an ally falls in battle, you can call in a replacement from your reserves, but if everyone falls, it's game over. Each character comes with a unique weapon and style, and it's important to choose your members based on the task at hand. Each student has 2 melee attacks and a magic ability at their disposal, and they each come with the basic set of defensive maneuvers. Combat isn't just mindless hack and slash either. It's better to be patient and wait for a window of opportunity to land a critical strike. Familiar staples of the series are still present, from chocobos to Moogles, and there's still an overworld to explore with random encounters aplenty. However, Type-0 makes better use of your open environment by introducing an RTS-style mechanic during certain parts of the game. During these sequences, your overall goal is to overtake an enemy stronghold. This requires you to direct forces from your own bases to certain destinations that best suit your needs, whether it's holding down the fort or going on the assault. As a major element of the game, the inclusion of this type of gameplay is definitely something of a surprise. Type-0 also offers a cooperative multiplayer mode, though it's somewhat unique. Other players can join up temporarily with you in missions, but the time limit for their stay is dependent on several variables. We haven't had a chance to test it out, but the concept is certainly appealing. Unfortunately, there are currently no plans to bring Final Fantasy Type-0 overseas. With the impending launch of Vita, it's looking less likely the game will be localized. However, there's always the chance it could be bumped up to a Vita title at some point, so there's at least a glimmer of hope for this latest installment in the Final Fantasy series.